Hello and welcome to Symbols and Cynicism, a podcast where we talk about all of the things that I love, some of the things that I hate, and this wacky adventure that we call life. My name is Bob, I'm your host, and I'm glad you're here today as we wrap up Season 2 with a best of clip show of our favorites from Season 2, including PowerPoints. Let's get started. Well, welcome to the end of Season 2. It is our highlight show, all of Sid's favorites from the last 11 weeks. Before we get to that, some more things on Die Hard. I received some messages this week reminding me, how did I miss this, that John McClane's wife is named Holly. Her name's Holly, a Christmas name. Also, a 2016 research article said that more people watched Die Hard on Christmas Eve in 2016 than either Home Alone or Christmas Vacation. And in a 2020 article, the writer of Die Hard says it is a Christmas movie. So there you go, right from the horse's mouth, the writer, the creator of Die Hard, claims it's a Christmas movie. Anyway, on with the rest of today. We have clips from episode 1, The Genius of Jason Robb. We have Harrison's scary movies from our Halloween episode. And from Indianapolis, we have Bourbon with Matt on location at the Weber Grill. Plus, how much I hate when people read me PowerPoints. This was some fun reminiscing to go through. I hope you enjoy it. Remember, we'll be back on January 12th with a brand new episode with J.D. Latour, Something Neat with Matt, and Why Does Word Suck at Formatting Stuff? Enjoy today's show. Today's resource was not a book, was not a podcast. It wasn't a state conference or national conference that I attended. I've certainly got a lot out of those things. This was from Facebook a couple of years ago. Jason Robb is a Facebook friend of mine. We've never met face-to-face like a lot of my Facebook friends. You come across them because they're a friend of a friend, and in the marching band worlds. At the time that we became Facebook friends, he was a band director in Texas at Rouse High School, had an award-winning, top-notch program there. He went on to be the corps director for the Madison Scouts Drum and Bugle Corps. He went on from there. He is now corps director with the Troopers Drum and Bugle Corps. He also owns his own marching band consulting and design business. So Jason Robb is a noted member of the marching arts community, and a few years ago, around this time of year, I think it was late September, he wrote a post on Facebook, and I was mesmerized by it. It was simple, it was clear, concise, and it framed things for me in just the right way. It was like he was talking directly to me as a band director in mid-season. And I don't know if you've ever read a post like that where there's nothing really all of that earth-shattering necessarily or groundbreaking, but it just feels like that person wrote it for you. And this was one of those things. So at the time, I took a screenshot of it because I didn't want to lose it. You know how sometimes you see a thing on Facebook and then you can never find it again. I didn't want that to happen. So I took a screenshot, made a PDF of it on my desktop, and called it The Genius of Jason Robb. Well, as we near the last week of the Ohio regular marching band competitive season, also football is coming to an end, or at least regular season football is coming to an end. Couple of weeks of state contest here in Ohio are right around the corner. I wanted to share these simple points, give some explanation as a reminder to you as a marching band director or a student, or maybe give parents a peek behind the curtain of like what goes on in the mind of a band director. And maybe this will tip some things for you, like as a reminder, as you finish out your season, to give you a little nudge and encouragement, or sort of one of those aha reminder moments. For me, as professional development was always good when it was something new, but it was also always good when it's like something that I knew but forgot, because we get into the forest and all we see are trees, right? And we miss the beauty of the forest because of those trees. So today I want to talk about this post point by point. By the way, I did send Jason a message a few weeks ago asking permission, and he did approve us using this information on the podcast. I'm not sure he remembered creating the post, because to him it was probably just one thing that he posted, and to me it meant a great deal. But it impacted my life, and if you're a band director, maybe it will impact you too. So point number one, his post originally from September of 2023, so it's just over 2 years old. Reminders for the week, he said. Number one, band is hard. Try to make it fun. And that is real difficult for us sometimes to remember as directors, that this activity we're asking students to do is difficult. It's hard. The instrument's heavy, it's windy or raining or hot or cold. We're asking them to maneuver with their body, not just their feet, but also choreography and body moves, and hit specific dots on the field at exactly the right point in time while they're performing on their instrument at a really high level. We get to this point in the season, this late September, early October, and sometimes we're pulling our hair out like, why can't you still hit that dot? Well, because some of these kids are freshmen. Some of them are newer players or struggling players, and we're asking them not only to play their instrument, but to do it while they're moving and in nature with wind and rain or sun or whatever the case is. And band is hard. It's a difficult activity. And to me, that was a great reminder. And every year I would come back to this, reminding our staff, guys, band is hard. Let's try to make it fun. Yes, we want to push them to be better and to accomplish that. It's not an excuse, but a reminder, like, let's also try to make it fun along the way. Here's point number two. Be mindful of your energy. Encouragement goes a long way for you, your team, and your students. This is something that we did even before this post. I would always try to set the tone for the week with the staff, with the field commanders, and with the student leaders. What are we doing this week? Is it, is it a week of like senior night and 8th grade night, or something that's a little less hyped? And hey, it's just a relaxed week. Let's not, let's dial it back a little bit this week, give everybody a mental break. It doesn't mean be bad on Friday, but it means this is not a high demand week. So let's treat it that way, versus this is a week where, man, we got to push. We got to get this closer on the field. We got to get the music up to tempo. We are high intensity this week. Be mindful of that energy. And where do we need to go? Hey, it's coming to the end of the season. What we need right now is a lot of positivity, a lot of great jobs, a lot of to find the kid that's been struggling but is getting it, and encourage that student. Find the section that's been doing a great job every week, maybe. Who's the kid that you forget to praise because they are always right? And it's like, they're always right. Of course I can trust Billy or Abby or whoever, right? Maybe you've forgotten to give them that encouragement, and they need that too. So go back to that. We would sometimes, with our staff, I would give them tickets, and I'd say, here's 5 tickets each, and everybody's got to give one to a kid that's doing a great job and tell them why. So be mindful of the energy. What's the energy required for this week? And then make sure everybody's doing that, from band director all the way through your entire leadership, staff, and student corps. Number 3. All staff having UDB or drill charts and updated scores in hand in rehearsal will help direct students' attention to details sooner. Too often I walk in to bands and to rehearse, help rehearse with another band, and I say, hey, does somebody have drill charts? Like, nobody has one. The kids don't have their coordinate sheets or their UDB. For those of you not involved with the marching arts, UDB is a phone / tablet app that allows gives students information. So it's like an old-fashioned drill chart, but it's the digital version of that. And by the way, this is not a commercial for UDB, but UDB is awesome. We loved UDB. What about those changes you've made? Are the changes to drill you've made in UDB? Are the music changes? Does somebody have a score for that? Or is always say, is this the measure? Is that, what measure did we add that? Did we add a forte piano there? Is there really a crescendo there? And nobody has the reference because the kids memorized their music a long time ago and don't bring their music to the field anymore. Kids, they need to have that music on them always. No, maybe it's probably not on a lyre on the end of their horn. We always had the flip folders on lanyards, and every kid had to have once the music was memorized, boom, bring a lanyard. We had some for free, the real cheap ones. If you want to bring a nice one, that's fine, do that. But they'd have that around their neck. They're not using it. They're not referencing it. They're playing from memory. But when we would say, hey guys, check out that dynamic in measure 48, they wouldn't need to scramble or look over everybody's shoulder. They have it right there. They look, oh man, 48, okay. Or we're working with the flutes on a drill move, and hey, trumpets, will you look at the articulation in that measure? Just dig out your music real fast, look at that articulation. Or hey, drums, can you make sure you've got the right sticking pattern in that while we fix this drill thing up here, or teach a choreography, right? How often have you been teaching choreography to one part of the band? The other half of the band is like messing around, not focused. Well, if you give them something to do, and if they have their music on their person or have their drill charts, hey, can you check dots? Oh my gosh, October, heaven forbid we check a dot or reset a dot, right? A drill page. Well, we can't do that if we don't have our charts. The staff doesn't have them and the kids don't have them. So everybody has updated scores, music, and drill charts to direct that attention to details sooner. So the band director or the staff doesn't have to go around marking every student off. That wastes time, and then you've lost rehearsal momentum. Number 4 is give students time to look at music outside in their drill sets, either on their phones or with a paper copy, which will help everyone play all the things sooner. All the things sooner. You've done it. I've done it. My hand is in the air, guilty as charged. Remember band camp or August when you're just happy things aren't falling apart? And like, celebrate, things aren't falling apart. We can make it to the end of the segment or phrase or show or whatever. And then you forget that there's more on that page. There's articulations on that page. There's dynamic changes on that page. Let's take it a step further to things like balance. And doing those outside is a huge benefit. You can't fix balance inside in the band room or rehearsal hall. Doesn't work. You're in a confined space. There's a ceiling. There's a hard floor. The band is in, concert arcs or whatever. You got to be outside. In the outside, not even in concert arcs. That doesn't help a lot when you're talking about things like balance. And we certainly rehearsed in concert arcs a fair share. But if you're fixing balance, do it in the drill set where the balance is the problem, because then the students are oriented on the field in the place where the balance needs to be right. You can't fix balance in the band room. Then you go outside and scramble them up on the field all over the place. And now all of a sudden the drums are in front and the flutes are on the back sideline. It's like, well, I don't understand why I could hear the flutes inside, right? I mean, like, duh, it's obvious, but how many times do we do it? It's a bad habit that we get into. Fix these things outside. You're going to rehearse these 4 measures, rehearse them in the set where they play them. It also fixes muscle memory because they're like, oh, when I'm in this spot playing this phrase, I need to play louder or softer or whatever the musical direction there is. So outside, rehearse the music outside, giving students time with paper copies or digital if you're doing it that way. Number 5, feet timing is probably the problem. Feet timing is probably the problem. This is another thing that sometimes as we get out of band camp and into August and things are rolling, we kind of forget, sometimes we put basics, we forget, we stop doing basics. We stop focusing on feet timing. Now we're in like October. It's like we can't arrive at that set all at the same time. Well, it's probably because feet are off step. Why can't the drum line play that lick together still? Well, it's probably the feet. Look at feet. Feet timing is something that we get lazy with. When you get into school and rehearsals shrink, all of a sudden everything needs to be more efficient, and sometimes we let those sorts of things go to deal with the really complicated things. Just a quick reminder, feet timing is probably the problem. Next one, horn angles forever. That's exactly how he puts it here. Horn angles forever. And there's two ways to remember this. Horn angle vertical. What is the horn angle? Whatever you use in your band, you're using perfectly level, slightly above, parallel, whatever you're using. Is it still right? Or are we starting to get a little saggy and wilty? Maybe wilty is a better word. It's not lazy, it's just wilty. We have so many other things to think about. Band is hard and the kids are working, but they forget horn angles. Some of them don't have that muscle memory of a good horn angle yet. Along with vertical, what about horizontal? Are our shoulders square to the sideline? Are we really doing a great job? Or did we kind of push that? Is that another thing we kind of pushed aside a little bit? Like, oh, they're getting there. It's, close enough, right? The fuzz and the blur of the dreaded close enough. So maybe have one staff member, if you have multiple, looking at horn angles every day. Or pick on a day, Tuesday. We used to pick our staff members and say, all right, today I want nothing but horn angles. Today, we're just notice feet, feet timing, or identify one thing. Look at that video from last week. What's the worst thing you did from a basics standpoint? And then pick a day this week, and you're not going to let the staff talk about anything. Just walk around the field, every kid you see. And it doesn't have to be negative. They're doing a great job. You give them the positive too, right? Like, hey, Jimmy, great horn angle. Hey, Layla, great horn angle. Good for you. Nice job. Then everybody else around that kid is like, ooh, well, I want a good job too. So they're going to straighten up a little bit, right? So you can do it with positive reinforcement. Also, gentle reminders, right? Horn angles forever. Next tip, what are we on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Look at the bass drums and the tubas. They need help. I'm reading that right from his notes. Look at the bass drum and the tuba spacing. They need help. I have long said bass drum and tubas, probably the two most difficult instruments on the field to march. We're dealing with a lot of weight, heavier than any other instrument. We're dealing with some visibility problems because we have the bell, or you have the contrabell, or the instrument physically is in your way. You've got the bass drum that's physically in your sight path. Plus, bass drums aren't always facing forward, so they can't see the field commander easily. They can't guide in the same ways as other students. They can't see behind. It's impossible for bass drums to see spacing because they're always looking down the line, right? Because of the instrument and getting the sound to the audience. So when you're cleaning drill forms and spacing, you could tell everybody, put your feet together and adjust spacing. That's harder with the tubas and the bass drums. So give them a little love, give them a little extra energy, have a staff member out there. Hey, listen, today I just want you to go around and help the tubas with spacing. And that's all that person's going to do today. And I keep mentioning assign a staff, assign a staff, assign a staff. And if you are not familiar with my career, you're thinking, oh, sure, he had a staff of 47 people. Not true. Not true. We had a total, including me, of 3 max. Me, assistant band director that was a full-time band director. We had 1 adjunct staff member that was like a supplemental staff, right? So usually 3 of us at rehearsals, and oftentimes, if the schedule works the way it sometimes did, the assistant is leaving partway through the period because 8th grade band starts, or there's a pep rally schedule and the things are colliding, right? So it wasn't always even 3 people out there. So don't think I'm assigning 1 person to horn angles, 1 person to feet, 1 person to the tuba spacing, No, we're talking like every day it's a different job, right? Very realistic scenario here. Next one down, breathing counts. Put in breathing points yesterday. You gotta tell kids where to breathe. Gotta be done. This is a physical activity, and they are using adrenaline and physical exertion, and they're going to forget to breathe. And then the arranger writes like 42 measure phrases, and there's no place to breathe. You got to remind them to breathe. And another thing we did and went along with that was remind kids when they have a rest, you have to slow your breathing down. This is a great time to take a few really deep breaths and get control of that energy again. And you got to remind them to do that. Sometimes, especially high trumpet parts, high trombone parts, maybe high mellophone parts that are really choppy, have your lead kids, especially solo kids, sit out a phrase if they can. If you've got enough other kids to play that phrase, that helps their chops, that helps their breathing. And then when they do come in, it's going to have a re-energized sound quality. Next point, choreography is a timing device. Don't just put in choreography or teach choreography as do this now. Use it as a timing device. Talk to your guard instructor about this. They do this kind of thing all the time. The point of the thing is at this angle, at this count. Do the same thing with horn flashes and body moves. On what count do I do this? And make kids count through it. Use it to continually help the timing of the full ensemble. It goes along with feet timing. Constantly having that internal clock and using choreography as that device. Next point, second to last, only got 2 to go here. Excellence is the ultimate effect. Now, I know when you designed your show, you were thinking about the uniform and the prop and the drill and this really cool piece of music that you're going to do, and the drill writer's going to do this awesome thing and all of these, and this is where the flags come out, or this is when the thing turns. And that is what we generally think of as general effect, the flashy and the ooh and the ah. But put yourself in the perspective of the audience. A band A comes out onto the field, no props, maybe no guard, marches and plays great. I mean, they are a phenomenally good band. There's dynamics, there's articulations, there's precision in the drill and in the musicality. And it's like, how do you feel about that? Band B comes out onto the field, really nice props, really great sound system, fantastically designed drill and music, but they don't play that good. It's okay. They don't play that great. The forms are like not everybody arrives all at the same time, and the basic package isn't well defined across the ensemble. What would you rather watch? You'd rather watch the really good band without all the glitz and the glamour, right? Now you're thinking, where's band C that has all of the package put together? Well, sure, when we envision our marching band show, when we're designing, we envision the props and the drill and the music. And of course, we always envision it with perfect band, right? Great music and great drill on top of that. And then we sort of let that slip a little bit because it's just easier to. And we're like, why aren't our general effect scores higher? Well, I'll tell you, if you as an audience member feel that way, the judges do too. The best effect, Jason Robb calls it the ultimate effect, is excellence. Yeah, we want to have great looking props. Yeah, we want to have a great working sound system. Yeah, we want all of those things to be great, all those ancillary elements, but those are the icing on the cake. The cake has to be good band. I used to always tell the kids, yeah, the icing can be great, but if you put icing on gravel, you're still just eating gravel cake, and nobody wants gravel cake. So sure, make the props as good as you can, but don't forget that doesn't help a sloppy band or sloppy players or sloppy marchers. Excellence is the ultimate effect. That's the wow factor. Anybody can make a good prop. Band is hard. His last point, and I always try to remind our staff of this, our student leaders of this, and yes, it got away from me sometimes, but it's my favorite of all of these. You're doing great. Keep trying your hardest and enjoy the ride. You're doing great. Band is hard. There's a lot to think through, and it's weather, and it's kids, and it's bus rides, and it's all schedules and logistics and all of the things, and pep rallies and homecoming parades and all of the things. It's hard, but you're doing great, and your kids love you for it. Make sure you love them back in very appropriate ways. Keep on trying your hardest. We're all on our own journey, and good luck on yours. Jason Robb, you are a genius. Thank you for these reminders. They always helped me, and I hope they help you too. All right, we are back. Harrison is back again for some drum corps talk.
Always.
And again, I wanted to talk about drum corps in the Halloween, scary, dark era.
Sure.
And when I brought this up to you, you said, how are we going to do that? There's not that much of it. Then you started investigating and you came up with like 27 things.
I have a list of 20-ish.
There's a lot. There's a lot. So these aren't necessarily Halloween shows. These are drum corps, or in my case, I included one other marching arts genre that is related.
Sure.
But that is some sort of dark theme, scary theme, something that is Halloween-ish, even though it's not directly necessarily Halloween or spooky.
Absolutely.
Okay? Okay, so why don't you go first? You're going to do these 5 through 1, and I'm just going to toss mine in.
Yes, because I like to rank things. So my honorable mention, because I did this for the movies, and I hadn't planned to do this, but I'm gonna, is Carolina Crown 2018. That is Beast, and they're all sort of animalistic, and there's one giant beast, and they just kind of rip through the whole show, and the beast attacks midway through, and there's a super cool trombone feature and a seesaw that looks like a beast. And what more could you want?
Yeah, that trombone feature from Blow It Up and Start Again by Jonathan Newman is the source material there.
Absolutely awesome.
Great trombone feature. Great segment. I really like that show. Definitely a good show.
Number 5 is a very recent one, but also an underrated show in my opinion, even maybe by myself when it was happening, is The Troopers 2024 Dance with the Devil, which the title pretty much explains it. If you've ever seen the Troopers show, they have sort of this main character that appears in a lot of their shows that is the trooper. He wears a cowboy hat and a very traditional military uniform, almost like Civil War era, and he carries a saber, and he, in this show, fights the devil. The ballad is House of the Rising Sun, and the guy that is the devil plays guitar solo to House of the Rising Sun while trombonists are playing on pentagram props. So, you know, very Halloweenish and very cool, but it does end positive because for whatever reason, the trooper stabs the devil with a blue lightsaber at the end.
Why not have lightsabers in your
it is very interesting.
I think that whole that show made my short list. It didn't make my final list.
Sure.
And I actually had sort of that whole recent arc of theirs, which are all pretty dark, even voracious. Like, that's not a super happy show.
Yeah, he like loses everything at the end.
Yeah, the oil well kind of explode. They have the whole whatever. So yeah, I had all those on there. Great pick by you. I'm gonna start my list. Since you started recent, I'll start recent. A little more recent even. I'm going Carolina Crown this year.
Okay.
Point of no return.
That was on my short list.
Which, again, not scary, but certainly the central figure of fate, and we've talked about this on previous episodes, but the central figure of fate, and the music is really dark, lots of minor, it's got Mahler, and you've got Carol Husa, and you've got, the Orff, Carmina Burana, which, so yeah, I think that's a really great dark, at the end, of course, fate consumes the performer, the core member. So yeah, I'm going with that one as one of the ones on my list. 2025 Carolina Crown. Go, give me another one. I'm going to just compare mine to all of yours. So
Okay.
We'll go.
So my number 4 is Boston Crusaders have become sort of a powerhouse in the 2020s.
Mm-hmm.
It's become a core that you look at and you go, yeah, they're going to be probably medaling, if not very close. 2017 with a show called Wicked Games. It is a show about witch trials, and there is a witch who carries around an elder wand prop, actually from like Universal or something, and she does a bunch of witch-ish things and curses people, and it's just a bunch of angular music, and they're wearing plumes, which is kind of cool because we don't see that a lot anymore. And at the end, finals week, there's a prop that looks like a fire, and they burn her at the stake at the end of the show while they play this big hit. And I think that that's pretty Halloween-y, and I think
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool.
I love that show. I love the ballad of that show is Wicked Games by Chris Isaak, which was a 1980s maybe or early 90s. It was a love song, actually, and they break up and you play this wicked game with my heart. So they twisted it into be a, like witch trial. It doesn't have anything to do with the witch trials, but that's a great show. You mentioned all of the current great Boston shows, which I love, and the design team currently for Boston Crusaders, really hardcore insiders know this. Before they became the Boston Crusaders design team, they're with a core that we've never talked about on this show that I recall, called the Academy.
Yep.
And in 2018,
oh boy,
the current Boston Crusaders design team was with the Academy and did a show called The Drum Corps Bride.
Yep.
Which is the next one that I'd like to mention. It starts off with a wedding and the bride and the groom. Fun fact, the groom from the Drum Corps Bride the next year would go to Boston with the design team and be in the guard in Boston, and he was David from the David and Goliath show.
Awesome.
Same character. So they go on their honeymoon, and the bride falls off a bridge and dies, and now he is fighting through death to restore their love, and ends up leaping off of the bridge to meet her in the afterlife. And the music is just awesome. They have they start off the show with what looks like church pews, but the church pews turn around, and on the back of them are printed gravestones.
Yeah.
And so when they turn them around, now the church becomes sort of a graveyard. And at one point, the entire core lays down in the graves, like with their headstones in front of them. I love that show. I watched that show again today. It gives me chills watching it because the music is really cool. The design, just love that show. So I'm going 2018 Academy, The Drum Corps Bride. Next one for you, 3.
My number 3 is a Cavaliers show, which is a core I haven't mentioned a lot, actually, on this podcast for how much I've talked about drum corps on here. And that is 2014 Immortal. This is interesting. I had never seen this show before last night as of recording this. I was doing research. A Reddit post said that this was sort of dark and spooky. I went, and the first shot in the video is of them with flags stabbed through them like pikes as they lay on the ground. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely a contender. And then they get up, are revived, and play Shostakovich, and I was like, definitely a contender. And then it just keeps going and going and going, and it's very spooky and it's all very dark. And then at the end, they put a guard person in a coffin and he turns into a skeleton. And so that is very Halloweenish and also very well executed. Very beautiful ballad, I will say. All very cool.
And they move. That's where they make the circle of marimbas on the field.
And they move the marimbas around.
Yeah, they do the mallet feature like on the field in a circle and dance around them. And
why not? You're the Cavaliers.
Yeah, no, that's a great show. That was on my short list also. Another Cavaliers show that same year that was on my short show was Secret Society, where they do most of the show in hooded cloaks. It's kind of an Illuminati,
yes,
like secret society
Yeah,
show.
crazy.
But I'm going to go a little off the radar. This isn't a stabby blood show. This is more of a psychological darkness, but it is the Cavaliers. It is 2010 called Mad World.
Classic.
Which is the key song throughout the show is Mad World by Gary Juhl. And the idea of the show is mental illness, most notably PTSD, brought on through military trauma.
Yeah.
Is kind of the whole show. So there's a lot of rifle work involved, and they don't make necessarily direct references to military, but they do this is my rifle thing at the very beginning. It's clearly a war.
Yeah.
And so it's the mental struggles and more of an internal psychological struggle over any sort of stressful, traumatic event. And I love that. I love the song Mad World. I love that show. I think there's some Shostakovich in that show too, if I recall. A little bit. So that's my next one.
My number 2, this is one of your favorite shows. It is your favorite show from the year it happened. That's 2023. And that is, I think, the first time that the Mandarins were ever super relevant to me. That's not true, because they're on my short list also for a different year. Mandarins 2023, Sinnerman. This show is so brutally dark. They start out in these white cloaks, almost angel-like, and they're playing like a very hymnal kind of music, and immediately half the core rips off the white to reveal like latex skin tight red with suspenders and like bowler hats, and they sort of unite these red cage like props in the middle, and the angels are on one side and the sinner men are on the other side, and they intertwine. And throughout the show, the white cloaks get stripped off and the whole core becomes sinner men. And the ballad is Take Me to Church by Hosier, which is the source music, absolute banger of a song. And they turned it into trombone solo, flugel solo, and then huge hit in the middle inside of the cages as everybody rips off the white. And it's so cool. And at that same point in the show, you find out that the props spin. And while they're inside the cages, and the cages are sort of in a circle, they're playing this big Take Me to Church hit as they sort of spin around them. And some more stuff happens, and they sometimes sit on the props and things. At the end, as things are just getting more and more dissonant, and you hear the song Sinner Man playing in vocals, and there's the trombone soloist comes back, they strap in 3 performers by their wrists and ankles in almost like a starfish position to the props and spin the props around with the performers inside of them as they play the final hit.
They spin them head over feet.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I would disagree. I love that show. You mentioned it. I would disagree that's the first time that the Mandarins sort of became relevant. A couple years before that, I don't know the year off the top of my head, it was on my short list.
Life Right After.
2018 was sort of the first time that everybody kind of woke up and paid attention to the Mandarins. That was a super dark show. It was about it was a portrait of the afterlife using The Rite of Spring, I think, by Stravinsky. Yes. And I do love that show. That show was on my short list. My next one, I'm going to go with Crusaders.
Okay.
But not the Boston Crusaders. I'm going with the Oregon Crusaders from 2018. The show is called Red Rum.
I'm nodding. You can't see it, but I'm nodding.
The show is called, they were 22nd place. They didn't even make semifinals with this show, but I freaking love this show. It's basically The Shining on the field. The guard is dressed up like the twins from The Shining. It's like 20 sets of twins or whatever. Yeah. They have Danny on a tricycle at the end of the show. They do Dies Irae. They do just dark and darker music. Yeah. At the end, the guard brings out huge stream flags that is just blood all over the field. It just is dark and darker. They have some voiceovers that are very similar to, although not exactly because of copyright issues, probably very similar to, they basically tell the story of Shining on the field. And fantastic show. Love it. Worth the watch.
The energy is there.
For sure. The energy and the crowd, like the energy of the crowd, knowing that it's prelims that you're watching. Still, the
Yes.
energy of the crowd is there. Love that show. All right, what's your top one? Hit me. You thought we were going to have the same list all along.
I did. I thought we
haven't-
would have similar
we
lists.
haven't
We had
matched one
similar
yet.
short lists based on what we're saying.
Yep.
So I think when you said you wanted to do this episode of dark DCI shows, I told you what my number one was going to be. And I said, I'm not sure what else is going to be on the list, but that is number one. And it is maybe one of the best second place shows to ever not win. And that is Carolina Crown 2015 Inferno. It is a depiction of Dante's Inferno. And it's kind of funny because by 2015, they had already been being nicknamed God's Hornline. And for about 10 minutes and 30 seconds of this 12-minute long show, it is just about hell. They come out and they're playing Verdi's Requiem, and it is really cool and angular and also ridiculously difficult on a brass instrument. And the opener ends with this big organ chord happening, and they just play stab after stab, and you could drive a bus through the separation in those stabs. You can hear the tongue hit the roof of their mouth all at the same time. It's beautiful. Ballad, one of the best flugelhorn solos of all time. Absolutely crazy hit. They put a red tarp over the core as they play the big chord, and people are getting dragged by their feet back under the red tarp.
That's one of my favorite moments as they try to escape the red tarp. People
and they get
them
pulled back in.
Yeah, it's a great moment.
And the show ends with Ode to Joy, and this guard person who has sort of been the main character and is doing sort of almost like a interpretive dance in front of the chord during that ballad moment, and is clearly symbolizing hopelessness and that hope for the top of the Inferno and to escape it. And the opener is abandon all hope, ye who enter here. But at the end, they have a gold and white tarp, and the crown is formed under it from a visualist blob. And as they play the Ode to Joy hit, and she climbs up a white ladder with a gold cape on her back and reaches for the sky as they play the last chord in the crown set. And it is just oh my gosh.
Yeah, crowd knows how to end a show, right? Like with the E = MC squared black hole trick, and
get them on their feet,
getting through the fate consuming all of those things. Yeah, great show. My favorite thing about that show is a lot of things, but one of my favorite things is no props. It has that red, it has the red fabric thing.
Yeah,
but it's just march and play. For a guy that loves props and enjoyed using props as a director, when I'm designing, I enjoy using props. I love that show because it doesn't have any props.
It's very open field.
Very open field. My last one is not from the world of DCI. It's from the world of WGI, which is Winter Guard International. For those of you who are not in the marching arts, it's basically drum corps, but in the winter and indoor. And there's a bunch of different segments of WGI. There is an indoor winds, which is only the wind instruments. There is Winter Guard, which is flags, rifles, and that sort of pageantry indoors in a gym. And then there's indoor drumline, which is front ensemble and battery, again, in a gym. And it's competitive, and it takes place usually January, February, March. World finals are in April in Dayton. This is from 2017. It's Pulse Percussion, which is an independent, scholastically affiliated ensemble. And the show is called Uninvited.
Okay.
Which is, the main musical element is Uninvited by Alanis Morissette.
Sure.
The rock tune. It's a haunted house show. And so there's a family of three, and they're sitting on this sort of old-fashioned couch, and they're all very, very happy. And then the drum line and the front ensemble sort of enter the picture, and they're dressed as sort of banshee, ghouling, black dressed, whatever sort of, and they are the ghouls in the house. And they consume the daughter, and then the father, and then the mother. And there's a piano prop that is used, and at the end, all the props slip around, and there's blood on the walls, etc., etc. So, I mean, it's very, very haunted house Ish.
Halloween-esque.
But just the way they do it, the playing is great. The staging is fantastic. You don't even notice that like the daughter is gone and then she comes back as a ghost basically, and you don't the staging is done in such a magical almost way that you don't realize what's happening until you go, oh my gosh, the girl wasn't even on the stage. You don't realize, like, how did they do that? Sleight of hand moment. So I'm going, Pulse Percussion, Uninvited, all of the shows that we've mentioned in the last few minutes. There's going to be links in the description of this podcast. So if you want to check one of these out, I'm assuming they're all I know all of mine are available on YouTube. I assume yours probably are.
And do it. Anybody can get into drum corps.
And I'm even going to try to put some of our honorable mentions on there if I can.
Cool.
So there's going to be plenty of links in the bottom. Enjoy this Halloween week with some marching arts from the world of DCI and indoor drumline. Hey, one more question. Favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh, Reese's. It's my favorite candy, period.
That is the correct answer. Congratulations, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Love them. I love the jack-o'-lanterns at this time of year.
Ones.
You can't have those because
that would be very bad.
They are not gluten-free. Cups are, but the special shapes aren't because they're made in a different factory,
which is just stellar.
Which is
I've heard they taste better. I've heard the peanut butter to chocolate ratio is better.
Look, I'm not
Reese's.
I'm not here to decry any Reese. All Reese's, the PCs, the cups, the mini cups,
wrapped,
the unwrapped, the Halloween ones, the Christmas. I will just eat anything.
Peanut butter and chocolate.
Peanut butter and chocolate. It's the perfect marriage. It's like Star Wars and drum corps. Hey, thanks for being here. Probably about time for us to go watch the last episode of Haunting of Hill House.
Sounds about right to me.
Hey, thanks for coming, man.
Absolutely.
Talk to you later. All right. Happy birthday, Matt.
Thank you. Thanks for the birthday dinner.
You're welcome. Very welcome. We are here. We are in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the Weber Grill. There's probably some background noise here. We're about to meet our server.
How are you guys doing?
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. My name's Ashley. I'll be taking care of you guys.
Great.
You ever been to Weber before?
I have.
All right. You? No?
All right, so our server Ashley has a lot of words.
That was a barrage of information.
She said them all. She said them all.
Meanwhile, I think I already know what I want anyway.
So we are looking at the bourbon here list. We've got what do we got here? Matt, a Basil Hayden, Buffalo Trace. We got some Bullet, Elijah Craig, Four Roses, Jack Daniels, Jefferson's Ocean. I heard not good things about that. Jim Beam, Knob Creek, Makers, Rittenhouse, Templeton, Whistle Pig, Wild Turkey, and Woodford Reserve. So there's some things on there we've already had. We've done some Woodford already. I've had Basil Hayden before.
Did the 1792 before.
1792 we did. That was one of the first ones we did on the podcast, right? So what do you think you're going to go with here?
Well, I think so. Another important part of the bourbon experience is you're going to hear a lot of flack about bourbon and people saying, "Oh, this one's not worth it. This one's not very good."
Right.
So then you're hesitant to try it. Well, I have never tried Jefferson's Ocean, and I've only ever heard bad things about it. So I think I'm going to try that and see what it lives up to.
All right, so you're going to go with the Jefferson's Ocean. Mm-hmm. I've always been intrigued by Whistle Pig.
I've never had it.
You've never had it?
Never had it either.
I mean, we've done some Wild Turkey.
I have heard good things about Whistle Pig.
I've had Four Roses. I've had Elijah Craig, Makers. I think I'm going to try Whistle Pig.
Okay.
Are you going to go? What are you going to go? Neat? Are you going to go?
Yeah.
With a rock? I think I might go with a rock.
No, I'm going to go neat.
You're going to go neat.
Anytime I try one for the first time, I want the product itself. It
is something neat with Matt.
It is. Yes. With little clanking in the background, nice little restaurant noises. It's very cute.
I hope we can hear any of this.
It's an aesthetic.
Or else it's just going to be crowd noise for 12 minutes of the podcast. Our producer, Kathy, is here. She's very quiet. She doesn't have a microphone. Are you going to get some tequila? Are you going to drink bourbon with us?
I was gonna have bourbon.
You're going to have
I'm
bourbon?
gonna let you pick for me.
Well, you should let Matt pick for you. You've never had bourbon ever.
Only in other things.
Okay. So,
I make vanilla out of bourbon.
so
I bake.
I mean, probably. Well, I mean, the 1792 is a pretty good beginner bourbon.
Yeah, I would say that's a good beginner. I'm always going to go back to Woodford. I think that's a good.
Woodford Straight.
I think that's a good beginner because of the 94 proof. So yeah, I think that'd be a good start.
So either Woodford or 1792. That's our suggestions.
Okay. And then, do you guys have any questions, or would you like to put in anything?
I'm still looking at food, but I think we'd like to order some drinks. So go ahead.
I'm gonna have the Jefferson's Ocean neat.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have the Jefferson's Ocean neat.
Neat. Absolutely.
I'll have a Whistle Pig, neat.
Absolutely.
And what am I having?
What do you want, the 1792 or do you want the Woodford?
I don't know the difference. Pick one.
Let's go with the Woodford.
Woodford. She should probably with a rock, though.
Whatever
Okay.
they tell me. What rock?
Give her a rock.
Okay, with the rock.
Sure.
All right, so Woodford, Whistle Pig, and Jefferson's Ocean.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She has to tell me how to drink this. I know there's a right way.
Okay, we're recording, so so the first thing you do is you just get it close to your
I have to
nose
smell it.
and you smell, and then do it with your mouth open too. It smells different, right? With your mouth closed and your mouth open. Don't get your nose like when you nose a wine, you put your nose in. You don't want to do that here. You want to do like a candle, like.
Waft it.
Ooh, this is good.
Is it?
Can I smell yours?
Because if you put your nose all the way in, it's going to burn because you're going to get pure method. Yeah, pure alcohol.
Okay.
They smell different.
Yeah. It smells sweeter.
Okay, so now also remember when you taste it. Now it's going to be a little bit different for you because you have ice in yours, so it's going to cut down some of the burn a little bit. But the number one rule.
It's gonna burn.
The number one rule. Ignore the first sip.
Ignore the first sip. Don't believe the second sip. The third sip is when you can finally say, "Okay."
What does they
now
say?
This is
the first sip just tells your brain, "Okay,
Right.
we're doing this."
yeah. Hi, hello. Okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Hi, we're doing this now. I mean, whatever you're.
I feel like you're watching me.
The longer you wait, the more cut it's going to be because you're diluting it with the. Your first thoughts?
No.
No. No thoughts,
thoughts.
or your thought is no.
I was told to ignore.
Right, you ignore the first one. Right. Okay.
I
So
was told to ignore the first one, so I'm ignoring.
Good.
No, I
Very-
have no
very good.
thoughts.
so you've ignored the first one. That's
Thank you
great.
for
I'm
following
gonna try.
directions.
Have you tried the Jefferson yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. What do you think based on smell?
It's fruity.
It's surprising. Have you had Jefferson like not the ocean?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you like that?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was not like I finished the bottle and I thought, okay, now I just have a nice bottle.
It's not as caramely as a double oak. There's a little floral in there, I think. Like a little, what do they call that? Is it floral?
A floral would be, yeah, that would be,
That would be a thing.
that's an acceptable answer. Yes.
Yeah, I mean it tastes like flowers.
A pig that tastes like flowers.
Right. It's a flowery whistle pig.
A flower. My nickname in high
Have
school.
you had your second sip yet?
I have had my second sip.
Okay.
I'm supposed to ignore it.
You are.
Don't believe it.
I'm not believing it.
Drink some water.
You know what it tastes like to me? I think I have had bourbon.
Paint thinner.
No.
Anybody that says I think I've had bourbon has a pretty good story behind why they think they've
Like the
had
time I ran out of rum and I made rum balls for Christmas with bourbon. That's what it triggers in my brain.
I wasn't there.
He was.
This is good. This is good. It's I mean, there's a little bit of a burn to it. I don't know off the top of my head what the proof is, but I mean it's definitely fruity.
I'm getting very little burn here.
I mean the tricky thing when you order Jefferson's Ocean is that there are so many different voyages. So the whole point behind Jefferson's Ocean is that instead of aging the whiskey in barrels in a rick house on land. They take the barrels, they put them on a ship, and float them around the ocean for however many months.
So it naturally stirs constantly.
Yeah, so it naturally stirs and it rocks back and forth. And what some people have said is that they can taste the salt from the ocean.
And that's what I've heard too, is that because of the salty air.
And I don't know that I'm getting this. I don't know that I'm getting the salt out of this.
No,
it's pretty good.
You ready to go in for your third sip yet? Not yet. Okay.
It feels warm.
One of us is about to drink that Woodford, which is perfectly fine with me.
I like it.
Oh, you like it?
Now,
But I've only had 2. I'm not allowed to comment yet.
I will say though, Bob and I were having this conversation on the way down. Like, if you're going to start drinking bourbon, I think the winter months are the time to start trying it. It's warm. It's inviting. And it's interesting. Like when I started drinking bourbon, it's interesting how now, like, I don't. Was my story boring you? And you're like, man, I'm gonna start knocking back Woodford.
Well, he was distracted.
is that now I'm to the point that, and I was never like this, obviously. But like, I don't drink the bourbon for the effects of the bourbon. Like, I drink it for the flavor profile and because I like it. And so it's more about the experience and less about the drinking. Like at this point, the alcohol is just the side effect to get the flavor out of the bourbon. So that's been really nice that you
I think that's another common misconception about drinking bourbon versus drinking some other alcohols is lots of people drink beer to feel the effects of alcohol,
yes,
or drink another spirit to feel the effects of the spirit. I don't know many people that drink bourbon for the alcohol effect.
Right.
They drink bourbon for the taste. They drink bourbon for the experience. Quite frankly, it's too expensive to drink for the alcohol effect. There are way cheaper ways to do that than drinking bourbon.
Well, and it even goes into something like, every once in a while I'll have a cigar with a glass of bourbon. Again, you don't smoke the cigar for the nicotine. If there's any, I don't even think there's nicotine in a cigar. But
there's not nicotine in cigar. There has to be nicotine in cigar.
I don't know.
It's not as much as cigar.
Okay, it's not habit forming. Like you smoke the cigar, but you find the cigar that's going to pair best with the bourbon. So again, it's all about the experience and not just doing it to do it.
Well, smoking cigars was not habit forming for me. I had about 1.5 inches of a cigar in college one time. Thought I was going to puke all of my insides to the outsides, and that was the last thing I've smoked ever. So that was 30-something years ago at a friend's bachelor party.
I was 1.
You were 1?
Yes.
When you had your first cigar?
Yes.
Matt's views do not reflect the views of Symbols and Cynicism. All right, so have you had your third one yet?
I have.
You have? Okay, so official thoughts. What are you thinking here?
I like it. It's warm. It's sort of spicy in a way that reminds me of baked goods, like that kind of spicy, not like burning my throat, but
yeah, that's a good comparison. It's not jalapenos.
No.
Hot, spicy.
No, it's like cloves and cinnamon and coziness.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. This you were mentioning it's a good time of year. I love it this time of year to go out on the back deck, turn on the fire table. That's warm. The air is cold. The bourbon is warm. It's a nice layering of effects. Okay, so Jefferson's Ocean. Are you going to go buy a bottle of Jefferson's Ocean?
At the right price, yes. I'll have to look up to see what the price is. I would say probably if it's more than $50, $60, probably not.
I can't believe you haven't already looked it up. Look up a bottle of Whistle Pig for me. See what a bottle of Whistle Pig is. And what the proof. Let's look up the proofs on this too. I mean, we know Woodford. Woodford's in that $50 range, right?
There are 67 spirits under Whistle Pig.
I don't know specifically which one this was. I think it was the rye.
Over one is 50 and one is 90. 80 for the rye.
I think that she took the menu.
Yeah.
I think we may need to get the menu back.
Okay.
I think this was the rye.
Okay, let's look at Jefferson Ocean.
Does it say what the proof is on it?
French onion soup.
Thank you.
It's very hot.
Would you mind bringing the menu back so we have the bourbon,
Of
the
course.
drink menu back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Do you want any dark black pepper for your salad?
Yes, please. Little.
Now this is the Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea Voyage 3.
Voyage 3.
Yes. So I don't know.
Is that
which
the
one
Magic Voyage? Is that the Magic School Bus Voyage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic Voyage from the... Was that Coolio?
And this says $68. I don't know that I'm going to pay $68 for it. It's still good. Like, I would order it at a restaurant. But to put a bottle in my collection...
And what's the proof, did you say? Yeah, so the Whistle Pig's 100 proof. I tell you what,
Depending on which one.
this does not taste like 100 proof. I would have guessed less.
Now, it's interesting because this is...
the bourbon list, and then I also brought this one back because we do have drinks on the back of here, and we have a couple signature cocktails that go along with your guys' whiskey.
What's the
bourbon.
best? What's the best one? We're recording a podcast here.
Okay, so
It's a
honestly-
bourbon podcast, so
Oh, well, that's wonderful. So we have,
and you're on it.
Yes,
You're famous now.
we have a.
I can't even hear her voice. over
Tens
there.
of people are listening to you.
That's
Whistle
all
Pig
right.
Farm stuff.
So we have. Would you like any more?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Sorry.
We have a vintage old fashioned here that we infuse our own Old Forester 86 for. We use dried orange peels, dried cherries, vanilla paste, cloves, and wood chips. We run it through there 4 times, and that's what makes our vintage old fashioned like special to us.
And then we want one of those.
Well,
So they're, like,
I'm going to get
phenomenal.
a vintage old fashioned. You want a vintage old fashioned?
Let's do it.
You've never had an old fashioned.
I have not. Maybe I should pass.
No, do it. Do it.
All right, let's do it.
It's really good.
Let's do it.
Friends don't let friends pass on an old fashioned.
Do all the
Okay, so
things.
3 vintage old. And what kind of bourbon is in that?
Old Forester.
Old
86.
Forester 86. Okay.
How do we feel about Old Forester? Farm stock.
Old Forester is good. We've had Old Forester on the
We've had it on the
podcast.
podcast, yeah.
Not the. What did she say?
We had the Statesman.
We had the Statesman.
Whistle Pig Farm Stock Rye is $67.
I don't know that I would pay 60. I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. This Whistle Pig's pretty good.
And now, going back to the proof, it's interesting because the Jefferson's Ocean is 90 proof, and to me it tastes 100 proof. But yours is 100 proof, but seemingly tastes like 90
I would
proof.
not have guessed 100. I would have guessed more like 90 or 85. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if you caught Ashley, our server. We're going to try the Weber Grill Special Old Fashioned, which is infused with a bunch of stuff, and it's dried orange wood chips that are going to be baked on a something
4 times.
4 times. So we'll be back. We're a fan of the Woodford. Kathy is a fan of the Woodford. I'm a fan of the Whistle Pig. Matt likes the Jefferson Ocean. Even though we both have heard bad things about Jefferson Ocean, this is fantastic.
But not enough to buy it.
But not enough probably to buy it at the price point. So we'll be back here in a little bit when we get our old fashions. All right, the food is here. You've got some tiny little steaks over here for our producer Kathy with some mashed potatoes and some asparagus. I'm glad you're in a different hotel room with that asparagus. And I'm very glad Matt did not get the asparagus. He has the barbecue burger with chips. Mm-hmm. And I don't even remember, some kind of burger, something like that, with fries. Fries look really great. We also have our old fashions. I've got here the special Weber Grill vintage old fashioned. Thank you. That's right. Yeah. It's got a cherry in it and some dried orange peel. Oh, this smells delightful. This is dangerous. Yeah, that'll do, donkey.
That's a good one.
That's a good old fashioned.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
That's delicious. That's delicious.
Yeah, I told you. Oh, yeah, old fashions are nice and sweet.
I'm on board with that.
A little bit fruity. It's got syrup and the fruit and usually some bitters, plus obviously the bourbon in this case, which is the
Old Forester.
Old Forester.
Infused Old Forester.
Yeah, we're a fan. We're a fan of the Old Fashions. Highly recommended there. Big fan.
After bourbons and Manhattans for old fashions.
Okay, time has elapsed. We've got a wrap-up session here. The food is gone. I had the steak burger and fries. I'm giving it an A+. It was a little underdone. I'm not complaining. It was just a little underdone than what I appreciate. The fries were awesome. So I'm giving an A+ to the meal. You had
I had the fillets and asparagus and mashed potatoes. I also give it an A+. They were perfectly done.
Yeah, they looked good. The fillets are really small. If it was me, that was way not enough steak for me. Matt, you had the barbecue burger and
bacon burger.
Chips.
That was good. Very good. A+.
A+. All right.
Definitely.
So we're giving A+ all around to the food. Our first round of bourbon, Matt, the Jefferson's Ocean. What do you think there?
I'd give it a solid B.
Solid B.
Solid B.
Whistle Pig, I'm going A- on A on the Whistle Pig. I'm going to look for that in my local store. Big fan of that. Kathy had the Woodford Straight, and
I liked it. I have nothing bourbon-wise to compare it to, so I'm not the best at giving it a grade, but
okay,
I'm loving the old-fashioned.
Yeah,
Get these plates out of your way.
most of her bourbon is still sitting there and just waiting. Matt's got his eyes on it.
It's crying.
He's looking at it the way I wish my wife looked at me. We then got a round of the Old Fashions, and this is honestly one of the better Old Fashions I've ever had. It is absolutely fantastic, Matt.
It leans to the orange side, more of the citrus side. Sometimes you get them and they favor more just the straight sweet side.
Yeah.
But I love orange, so it's.
And I think that's why I like it. It's definitely it has character. It's not just sweet. It has a taste to it. And you're right. It's definitely the citrusy end of it. You haven't eaten your cherry yet. The cherry is outstanding.
You gotta let it marinate a little.
Yeah, I let mine marinate plenty. My sister, maybe first old fashioned. What do you think?
Yeah, it's delicious. Love it. I'm keeping up with you. That is not just sitting there.
Yeah, no, she is not sitting there just with the old fashioned. So, overall, Weber Grill, absolute top notch food, top notch drinks. Our server Ashley was amazing. We are big fans of the Weber Grill. All around, 3 for 3. Big fans here. We are at BOA all day tomorrow. This is your first ever Grand Nationals.
It is, yeah.
And Kathy as well, her first Grand Nationals. I've been here many times. We've documented that on the podcast as well. So maybe tomorrow, late in the day, we'll kind of do a reaction on thoughts on some Grand Nationals and what we think about all the things going on there. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you tomorrow.
No, breathe. Find your happy place.
People who read us PowerPoints, Google Slides, Canva presentations, whatever. It's not just about PowerPoint. It's sitting in a presentation, and they turn on the slides, and they go to slide 1, and there's information there, and they read it to me. And then they go to slide 2, and they read that one, and slide 3. Actually, probably by slide 3, I'm not sure if they're reading it to me anymore, because I'm probably doing a crossword puzzle or zoning out or something. If you're a presenter, and I've presented things, and I have used Google Slides, consider your audience. Is your audience intelligent, well-adjusted humans that can read? If the answer to that question is yes, then you don't need to read them the slide. The slide should have your main talking points. It should keep you on track, highlighted bullet points that give me the playbook. and then expand on that. I read the thing and you give me an anecdote about it that further explains the thing. Because I can read. If you're going to give me the 3 most important things to do at a fire evacuation drill, then don't read me. Give me the 3 things and tell me why they're important and why I have to do them and how I have to do them. But don't read me, take attendance. Just tell me how you want me to do it, right? Stop reading PowerPoints. People are intelligent. They can read. They just need you to explain, go deeper, or provide an anecdote about the data. So please stop reading me PowerPoints. I feel better. You feel better? I feel better. Okay, that's the show. Make sure you leave a rating, drop a comment, or send a message on the app of your choice. You can text the show with a link at the bottom of the description. You can check out our merch store at themarchingarts.com/RHS. We hope you'll join us next time as we open Season 3 with our special guest, J.D. Latour from OMEA. We have something neat with Matt and why does Word suck at formatting? Thanks for joining me all season. You are what make this podcast special. If you keep listening, we'll keep recording. Today's theme music is Zdidogak, written by me, copyright RHS Music. The show logo is designed by John Suh. This show is produced by my sister, Kathy. A safe and happy new year to you, and I hope you'll join us on January 12th for more reflections and rantings on symbols and cynicism.